This is your host, the most Ranger J 1999 from Realitude Gamers, and you are listening to the Escape Podcast, perhaps? This show was recorded in front of a live Twitch audience. Wait. What? That's not right. What is it? Paul? Stuff you make me read, man. Anyway, take it away, boys.
One is a Grand Arena specialist from the UK. The other is a territory battle tactician from the US. Together, there are no signs of intelligent life on board. With both having played this game since launch, the one thing we are sure of is that you will be entertained. The Escape Pod Cast, a service of the Escape Pod Castaways. A weekly podcast about the mobile game Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. Live from the network studios of Yavin 4, here are your hosts, Neil Andrew Eyre and Paul Anthony.
Coming up on this week's edition of the Escape Pod Cast.
We aren't going to bury the lead here. We sit down this evening with Galactic War Report.
John and Sean of the longest running Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes podcast will be right here, live with us tonight.
That is coming up in our incoming transmission and is one you do not want to miss.
Coming up in the first two segments, though, we compile all the juicy little tidbits from Doja Fett on the forums for you.
The community has been talking about how much this person is talking. Is it a good thing?
Or is it a bad thing, having this much communication after so long of not having it at this pace?
We also talk about data mine news of 3 potentially new characters, possibly on the horizon.
And of course, we speculate on what they could be and what they could point towards, along with the gamble packs.
The bridge is where we kick back and answer Patreon's choice questions.
And tell you about the fun things we have just around the corner and spotlight some of the new streamers that we have seen this past week.
And then breaking news as and if it happens.
Right here on the Escape Pod Cast.
The Escape Pod Cast News.
Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome from the cockpit of the Millennial Fulcrum to the Escape Podcast. I'm here, as always, with my hetero life partner, Paul Anthony. Paul, how are you today?
I'm doing well. I still have a little bit of that Force Ghost look. We're gonna fix that hopefully next week, right, Neil?
Yes. Hopefully we will with some tablecloth and some super glue.
Exactly. That's as easy as it is. Thank you, Cascade, for subscribing. She has been subscribed for 5 months at Tier 1. That is awesome. Thank you very much for that. We got a fun show today. I'm very, very excited that we have Sean and John from the Galactic War Report, not the Galactic War Report as it said in the Twitch notification. Yeah. That would be that would be talking about space forks and space spoons, right?
Yeah.
But
Or it could just be because you've got fat fingers.
Are you calling me fat?
No, I'm saying it could be because you have fat fingers. Don't put words in my mouth. This is not a this is not a Senate hearing. We are not redefining words on the fly here.
It depends on what the definition of is.
Exactly. It does depend on what is the definition of is.
But excellent to see everybody out. Thank you so much for coming out to this episode, the 88th episode, where we are 2 more away from season 3 finale.
2 fat ladies, 88. That's a bingo call. I don't know if you've ever played bingo before. Have you ever played bingo before?
I've played bingo before, but I've never heard it called that ever in my life.
Oh, God. You've got Kelly's Eye number 1. You've got Legs 11. You've got 2 little ducks. 1 little duck. Obviously, 2 little ducks is 22. 1 little duck is 2. And you've got Top of the Shop Blind 90. You've got 2 fat ladies, 88. You've got whoever the Prime Minister is. So if it's Boris Johnson, it'd be Boris. Boris's den number 10. Then let's see whatever you got. So you got 7 and 6. You got 69. Oh God, yeah. There's lots of, because sometimes numbers look like something. Legs 11. Oh no, I already said that one. So yeah, there was a snap hiss there. What was that snap hiss?
That was Cascade donating 200 bits. Thank you very much for that. Helenix says that you must be playing the 2020 dystopian year from Solist bingo cards. Get more information on that coming up in Helly and the Noob in our third break.
Okay, so what's in the show today then, Paul?
Let's get started by talking. You kind of have a bone to pick.
Do I?
It is with a post about the Galactic Challenges.
No, it's not a bone. I don't have a bone to pick. I don't. You right? Okay, I do not care about Galactic Challenges. I don't care about them. Okay, so I don't have any bone to pick with them being changed, different, altered, amended. I don't care. My issue with the update to Galactic Challenges is people that do like it are getting screwed because they're only going to run on weekends. This new amazing content that you're going to be able to play every day. You're not going to be able to play every day. You're only going to be able to play it Friday to Sunday, which sucks for people that like Galactic Challenges.
Okay. Let's pull this up. Let me go grab that Galactic Challenge Cadence article that came out October 15th at 3:47 p.m.
Yep.
Follow up on a reply I posted the other day regarding Galactic Challenge Cadence. This was from Doja Fett.
Yeah.
I'd like to address it here for increased visibility. For now, the words "for now." Neil, might I remind you, subject to change.
Well, yeah, everything is subject to change.
Galactic Challenges will occur on the weekends. Obviously, not the news we were all hoping for. He admits that is not the best.
Thank you for the biddies in the hype train. Chew, effing chew. Keep going.
We have
keep
a hype
going.
train
keep
going.
Keep going. Keep going.
Okay. He's admitting it's not the answer we want to hear, but they're working on ways to increase the cadence of Galactic Challenges. That sounds nebulous, but there's a few things going on, including some complicated stuff involving the tool used to create the events. So, Neil, they want to do more with it. They want to increase these Galactic Challenges. And of course, he does say this might invite more questions that do not have answers right now, such as when can we expect an increase in cadence? But I'll keep you all up to date as much as I can as things change. So once again, subject to change.
Yeah. I mean, it's great. It's great. Great for the mod slicing material. I mean, that's brilliant. Let's roll out this new mod rolling. The mod slicing thing. I'm thinking, so once a weekend, you get to slice one secondary stat on one mod that's already 6E, and you might get a chance of, roll its speed. One mod, one stat on one mod once a weekend. Two, if you're lucky. If you're good enough, if you've got the squads to be able to go all the way to tier 7. So you might be able to roll one mod. Two stat, one stat twice on one. It's just, yeah.
I've rolled a stat 3 times. I've rolled thrice.
Yes, thrice. In the last 2 Galactic Challenges, not 1 Galactic Challenge, 2 Galactic Challenges. It's taken 2 Galactic Challenges for you to get the material to roll a mod or 2 mods, a secondary stat 3 times.
Okay.
On 2 mods. It's not good enough.
What I'm hearing, and correct me if I'm wrong here, this is across the board, right? No, nobody has something higher than.
Sorry, just got to lock a stabilizer down. Yeah.
Just correct me if I'm wrong. There's nobody has one mod higher than 3 slices, right?
What? No, there I don't know. No, there are people with more.
Okay, so there are people that have sliced 3 mods one time each. But there's nobody that has any mods higher than 3 additional slices out there right now. And that's because they
probably not, because they're not getting the slicing material.
Because they didn't put it behind a paywall. That's a good thing, Neil.
An entire, just no, it's not. Whether it's paywalled or not, they're not providing enough slicing materials for people to do their, to slice their mods.
Maybe
getting slicing materials once a weekend? Once a weekend? That's not good enough. That's really
now,
not good enough. They need to put the slicing materials in other events. I mean, there was an assault challenge on this weekend with challenges 1, 2, and 3. They could have thrown it in challenge tier 2 or challenge tier 3.
Really quick, 90 seconds left in the level 2 hype train. We will acknowledge everybody at the end of the hype train. You guys are amazing. Thank you very, very much.
Chew effing chew.
All right. Now, Neil, we know we have an update coming in 2 weeks, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because they did announce the fact that there will be, let me find it. Let me get the exact wording so I don't get it wrong here. Was it dev announcements and news? Yeah, support for legacy iOS devices. So this thing right here.
What is it, an iPhone 5?
Not going to be able to my 5C is not going to be able to play Galaxy of Heroes anymore. That's fine. I use it as an iPod anyway.
It was the iPad 4th Gen that surprised me. I'm like, whoa! I did not realize an iPad 4th Gen doesn't go beyond iOS 10. That surprised me. That I must admit, that shocked me. I used to play it on an iPad 2, so
yeah. I still got that iPad 2 sitting up.
But hey, it's understandable because of the Unity upgrades. And if CG are going to take advantage of the Unity upgrades, which clearly they did with the events, the new GL events, the cinematics for the new GLs were wonderful. I mean, they looked really, really good. I mean, I even think that the JKL ones looked really, really good. I think the cinematics and the cutaways that they've been doing since the Unity update are really, really good. And obviously, lower-end devices, they're not going to be able to cope with that kind of thing. So I get it. I do understand it. And it kind of sucks for people still on iPhone 5s and older iPads. It does suck. But that's the price you pay for progress, unfortunately.
Well, I'm going to say, they're probably going to find ways to do that with because it's going to be a title update. Anytime that you increase and kind of block out other devices, it's a title update. So I'm thinking that we're going to possibly see a change to the tools in 2 weeks to where we're going to see that.
It'd be nice if things run smoother as well. It'd be nice if they get rid of crashes and stuff.
I agree. The crashes are very, very problematic.
Yeah.
You crash at least once a GAC?
I have at least one crash every session. Yeah, I have a crash every single session,
and that's across all of the
all of the what?
All the 4 accounts.
That's across all accounts. Yeah.
Okay.
But it's still one session. It's logging in and out. It's one session.
Yeah. Well, along with that, they're saying on October 27th, in order to accommodate the new features and graphics associated with the next game's update, anything past the minimum requirement will now be iOS 11.
Which means my youngest is not going to be able to play the game on her iPhone anymore. She's got an iPhone 5C. Mm-hmm. But she's got a laptop now, so I just need to get it transferred using Facebook and get it put onto her laptop so that she can play it on BlueStacks. If I can get her to stop playing Among Us, she might play it. She really, really likes Among Us. She's 10. Well, she'll be 11 later this month.
But I'm very surprised that you don't.
Yeah, no, I'm not playing. It's a fad. People will stop playing Among Us once they get on the Phasma, whatever, the Phasmophobia, whatever that game is. That's the next fad,
It's the fear of Gwendolyn Christie.
Okay.
Yes.
Fear of Gwendolyn Christie. Yep.
Yeah,
that's
if you're
fair
afraid
enough.
of Gwendolyn Christie, you have Phasmophobia.
Yeah. You know.
Prove me wrong.
Could be wrong, yeah. You know, a month ago.
No, prove me wrong.
Yeah, a month ago it was Fall Guys. It's Among Us. Among Us will be cast to the scrap heap over the next couple of weeks, and it'll be this new game.
Well, of course that one will, because it'll no longer be spooky season. We'll have to get pumpkin spice Candy Crush or something like that.
I don't do pumpkin spice. I don't do pumpkin. Yeah, no, screw that. Don't do pumpkin. I'll carve and decorate a pumpkin, but I will not eat pumpkin or drink. I will not consume pumpkin. Not going to happen. Don't like the stuff.
But you know, we have a lot of it's promising. It's really, really promising with what I'm seeing, and we're going to get into what we're going to call Doja's greatest hits of the week in just a moment. But October 27th, which is just over
9 days, 11 days away.
10 days, 11 days away. We're going to see a lot of, I think we're going to see a lot of changes. I think that icon, if you downloaded the game through BlueStacks, you are going to see that there is a new Mandalorian icon. I don't blame them whatsoever. You know, with a Mandalorian tie-in. We also got news this when did this happen? I'm gonna go to our Discord channel. We have a feed into the events data mine at 10:14 Central AM. We were told that there are 3 new character bundles that we're gonna see.
Yeah,
and
well, I said last week that we were going to get a half a dozen to 8 new marquee characters between now and the end of the year. So yeah. 3 new ones doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, so in addition to the one we already know about, which was titled number 15, or no, not number 15, number 14. We already knew about 14. 14 was teased. It's not easily accessible on when it was, but 14 was teased. And we don't have 15. 15 isn't loaded into the game. So are we going to see 15 end up getting added to the data mine?
I don't know.
So let's say that 15 will be added. 14, 16, 17, and 18, which are the character bundle names. If we get 5 new characters, they got to be Mandalorian related.
Well, yeah, of course they're going to be Mandalorian related. They're not going to be sequel trilogy related. They're going to be Mandalorian related. All of them. They're all going to be Mandalorian related. I mean, weeks and weeks ago, we know that we still need Quill and we still need IG-11. So there's the 2 to make up for the light side Mando characters. And I still say that we're going to get a 501st Stormtrooper. We're going to get a Scout Trooper. We're going to get the Flamethrower Trooper. So we'll get some Empire stuff as well. And they'll keep throwing characters at us, and then we'll get we'll get a legendary. Fingers crossed, we'll get some kind of a legendary event to either get a Beskar Mandalorian or a Moff Gideon.
See, I think it's going to be reverse here. I think that the five, if we're going to say five, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, and then 19, which will come later. If we're going to get 5 characters, I have a feeling that we're going to end up with a legendary, not galactic legend, but legendary character or journey. We will get Ahsoka Tano.
No, they're not going to give us that.
You don't think we're going to get Ahsoka Tano?
Absolutely
who
not.
Will have
they are not. They are not going to give us an Ahsoka Tano. They are not going to give us an Ahsoka Tano because that just gives it away in the show completely. It's no longer alluding to Ahsoka Tano being in season 2 of The Mandalorian. It's no longer, it's like, we know that Dave Filoni's done an episode and we kind of know that she's in there, but we don't know what she looks like, what a character's going to look. We don't, nothing is 100% cast iron for sure. It's like, we do not know what episode she's going to be in, what the plot is going to involve, what her story's going to be. We don't know that.
But there's still time. There's still time that they need to make up for people to farm the characters. They're not going to rush it out. The cadence of 6 weeks, maybe it's the new cadence, ever since Piet and rushing out the Galactic Legends like they did. But nonetheless, if it's a 6-week period on which they release them, if that happens on the 27th, Mandalorian is that week, right?
Yes.
Okay. So we get some Empire characters, Moff Gideon being probably one of them. I'm no longer going to think that we take the Mandos to get Moff Gideon. I think Moff Gideon is somebody along with other Empire troopers, and then throw that back to where you use them to go after Ahsoka Tano or Bo-Katan. One of them who will. But there's still time. The point that I'm trying to make here is you still need farm time before putting out the legendary. And when you do that, it gives the show time to reveal the character.
Yeah. I'm thinking of it more in terms of I'm trying to the easiest comparison for me would be Rebels. We got some light side Rebels characters, we got some dark side Rebel characters, and we got a legendary from Star Wars Rebels. And I'm thinking, so we got Gar Saxon and we got the other trooper and we got a ship and we got a couple of light side ships and we got all 6 of the Phoenix, we got all the Spectres. So I think that what we're going to be getting is still season 1 characters, whether they're main characters or ancillary characters. Thanks a lot, Ranger. Ranger. That's Cabo's laugh. Yeah, I still think that what we're going to be getting is season 1 characters. I think they'll milk us for the season 1 character marquees, and then when season 2 kicks off, that they'll kind of be like, oh, what's popular? What do people like? And then we'll be like, oh, we want this character. We want this character. We must have an Ahsoka. We must have another Boba Fett. We must have another Django. We must have another Ahsoka. So they'll get all of these marquees are going to be from season 1, and then once season 2 really, really kicks in. Then they'll throw us some stuff out for season 2 that people will pay $200-300 necessary to 7-star max those characters out, because that's all they're going to make off those types of characters.
So
$200-300.
JJ Manners asked, is Sasha Banks playing Ahsoka? No, Rosario Dawson is playing Ahsoka, but there is thoughts that Sasha Banks could have been playing Sabine. We might have been alluded to that being Sabine in the first trailer of Mando. We're gonna, it's 100% Rosario Dawson that is playing Ahsoka,
and that is from your what? And your source is
the Star Wars. StarWars.com said that. We know that Ahsoka's.
That's the source.
But no, the source for the Sabine thing. Oh, geez.
No, the source. So these are 100% cast iron sources. This is definitely who is playing. character X, Y, and Z.
Speculation on that came from New Rock Stars that Ahsoka Tano, or not Ahsoka Tano, Sasha Banks was playing Sabine Wren.
Because the only one that I thought was nailed down was was Katie Sackhoff playing.
No, Katie Sackhoff and
Bo-Katan.
Rosario Dawson are 100% confirmed.
Yes, so I thought Katie Sackhoff was the only one that was 100% confirmed.
Yeah.
I didn't know Rosario Dawson was 100% confirmed because
Yes.
there was no interview with Rosario Dawson, but there was an interview with Katie Sackhoff.
Yeah. So really quick, let's recognize the people who helped start and then continue the hype train here. And also, then we're going to take a break and come back with more of what we'll call Doja's greatest hits. And then we're also going to talk about the fact that I've pulled the trigger on something that I think you'll be very proud of. Let's go through the list here. Cascade started it off by resubbing for 5 months, then donating 200 bits. The Llama came in with 100, and JJ Manners gave out a sub that started the hype train. Then Cascade with 100 bits. The Llama with 300, Force Ghost J with 9, Cascade with another 100, Helenix with 5, Cascade with 10, and then Cascade with another 100. We also had a new Padawan join us, K Gray 5, thank you very much. And Ranger J came in just recently with a sub for tier 1. Thank you very much for supporting the show. A portion of what's made on the show is also given back to this community, to smaller streamers and streamers that deserve a little bit of a rub to get them going, to start them off and get them to where they need to be, get them their emotes through subs. So thank you, Mr. Bojangles, for the 50 bits. Let's go to a break. When we come back, we will be talking about more of the little tidbits that we've seen coming from CG Doja Fett right after these messages on the Escape Pod cast.
The Escape Pod cast with Paul Anthony and Neil Andrew Ware.
This is Macias, and I assure your privacy and confidentiality when using my remodding services.
G'day legends, this is Heinzie. Did you know Macias Modding Mayhem is the premier modding service for the game that we all love, Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes? With some of the most affordable rates in the industry, Macias will remod your roster from top to bottom with continuous consultation with where to go from there. Macias has a 100% satisfaction guarantee, and he has tons of additional services available as well, like a full cleanup of your mods, PvP plans, and lots more. Contact Macias today on Discord, all in lowercase guys, MIKAYAS 0127. That's MIKAYAS number 0127, or hit up maciasmods@gmail.com. I fully endorse Macias Modding Mayhem, and you will too. Macias Modding Mayhem, the official remodding service of the Escape Podcast and the Escape Podcastaways network.
Did you know that if you signed up to become a Patreon, you could get tons of rewards? Force Ghost Scotty could do a roster review for you. Neil Andrew Ware could share Grand Arena tactics. Or Paul could even help you get maximum stars in Geonosis Territory Battle. And you even get access into the after show. Sound good? Sign up to be a Patreon today. For as little as $2 a month, you could unlock a ton of potential content and also get closer to the hosts. Head to patreon.com/The Escape Pod to sign up.
Hello, friends. This is Thaddeus from Going Nerdy, and I approve this message and am compensated for signups for this service.
The world's largest audiobook library is at your fingertips, and the Escape Pod Castaways wants you to try it for free. Head on over to escapepodcastaways.com and click the Going Nerdy offer button to claim a free audiobook and 2 Audible originals. Cancel anytime, and it's absolutely free to sign up. Check out Audible and support the Escape Pod Castaways, all for free. See Audible website for details. Restrictions may apply.
Hey, I'm Andy Beads.
Hey, I'm Danish Wobble.
Hey, I'm Ando.
Hey, I'm Jake.
I'm Bringer Adept.
Jake Johnson TX.
I'm Ramby2307.
Spartan Z here.
I am Mr. Jacobachi.
Star Wars Galaxy of the Yeti.
I'm Player Gaming Embers.
I'm Lazy Turtle.
I'm Mudbum.
I mean, come on. They already know me. I'm the bloody co-host.
And we are part of
the GAC Chain Gang.
We're a group of streamers who
stream our Grand Arena on Twitch
and continue the chain
into the next streamer.
We have all types of accounts for you to enjoy, from the big whales to the
small accounts.
But we're all here to provide entertainment
and have a good time.
The Grand Arena Chain Gang is proud to be part
of the Escape Pod Castaways Content Creator Network. Stop by and see them, won't you?
The Escape Pod Cast.
And welcome back to the show, everybody. It's segment 2, and what are we going to talk about, Paul?
For your choice. Do we want to talk a little bit more about what Doja has been saying?
Well, I mean, we can talk about him in general. I'm happy to talk about him in general. The new community. I mean, he's been in the job for a week, and he has been talking. I mean,
he has. Or do you want to talk about me pulling the trigger on a?
Well, just tell everybody what you pulled the trigger on.
Okay, so after a lot of debate between the two characters, the two Galactic Legends, I am going after Luke. I'm first off, I'm going after Jedi Knight Luke.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we're going to do that. Force Strong says we need to update our Chain Gang commercial and talk to Flair and Andy about that. They were supposed to get us a new one 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. they're the guys in charge of the Chain Gang. Don't speak to us. We're not in charge of the Chain Gang. We're just in it.
We just participate in it.
We just participate. It's not our train set. Somebody else's train set.
But it after people saying, you spent a lot of time on dark side, and with the fact that light side Geonosis territory battle, I want to do better for our guild. I'm gonna go after Luke, both master and knight, so we can get more stuff done.
Yeah, okay.
It all boils down to that. So that's kind of my recommendation. If you're a older player, if you're a newer player, Palpatine's going to be more accessible for you. So it depends on the age of your account on who to go for, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's for sure. Although you could go for GL Luke if you'd started the game from scratch.
Yeah, I mean, if you do a hyperdrive bundle, Palpatine's going to be your best bet.
Yeah, GL Luke, GL Luke's still doable. You just get yourself into a good guild. Either of those GLs, you're still looking at 2 years. Either of those GLs, you're still looking at 2 years. The earlier GL, if you were going from scratch, it'd be easier to just go for one of the newer GLs. Ask Flair. He's Div 6 and he's facing a slacker.
Well, that's because it's Flair. He forgets to join GAC. You just get kicked out of it.
Yeah. Well, no, I just don't get... It's like, nope, we're not going to let you join. But, yeah. No, there are different ways of thinking about it, but it's most certainly easier. It doesn't matter. If you're a veteran player, it really, really doesn't matter. As long as if you've got Jedi Knight Luke going for Grandmaster Luke or going for Palpatine, really doesn't matter. You're going to have all of the characters at 7 stars anyway. Well, if you're free to play, you've still got 1 or 2 characters to farm.
I'd be interested in knowing what the live Twitch audience, where they're at with their accounts, and if they're going for one. I know Hellenix doesn't want to do either Galactic Legend, and that's him. Hellenix is a rare breed. But if anybody's going for one, I'm interested in hearing, especially from a smaller account's perspective. You have multiple different accounts. I personally have had my near launch account where I've kind of flailed here and there. In fact, let's talk a little bit about some of the packs that came out this week. The packs that I do enjoy, we did see, and I know you're going to roast me for the title that I called them, but the gamble packs. We had $5 and $10 packs. You could buy the $10 one 3 times. You could buy the $5 one 5 times. Since I had a very, very productive weekend, I went ahead and did 3 of the 10s. And I ended up hitting the jackpot on one of them. I'm part of the 4% that got 50 of everything. I was excited. Mm-hmm. So, I've got I've got these Chirotechs sitting in my pocket. I already spent those. Yeah, I was able to take, I think she was gear 9 on Friday. I was able to take Rolo up to gear 12. So I'm on my way to getting there.
Yeah, you need to get JKL first.
I do need to get JKL first before I can even think about Jedi Master Luke. But, it was absolutely exhilarating to see that jackpot. And they were also pretty good packs. The $5 pack in my mind was more in value, but the $10 pack paid off. Know what I mean?
No, because I'm free to play.
But
I have no idea what you mean.
You do understand odds, though, Neil, right?
Yeah. But I have no frame of reference because I've never spent anything in the game. So I have.
You have. You have in a way.
No, I haven't. I've never spent a dime in the game.
I'm going to point out to you that you have purchased the character, the 330 character thing both times that it came around.
Yeah, that's because I saved up crystals that I picked up from the Fleet Arena.
Right. So you spent those crystals, which is essentially the hard currency of this game. You spent those crystals, and when you got that Talzin, that was good.
The Talzin was good. Yeah.
You got Ezra on the other one, didn't you?
No, I got a Geo Soldier the second time around.
Okay.
And I already had all my Geo. I already had the Geo's relic, so yeah.
but nonetheless, you ended up getting Mother Talzin, which you didn't have at 7-star. Which, if anybody pulled a Mother Talzin, that immediately gets them 2 Zetas a month.
Yeah.
If you have a 7-star Talzin, you can use whatever you want to get those Zetas.
Yeah, I can do that. I can do the Mother Talzin event. Yeah. I'm getting the Zetas from that. But that's not spending. I didn't spend any money to get that.
But you spent what they gave you for your time. The time that you play in the game, they give you crystals. So when you go to do a job, you trade your time for money. In this case, you trade your time in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes for crystals.
Yeah.
So you have gambled.
I haven't gambled anything.
You haven't gambled actual,
No, because it was a one. I haven't gambled anything. I don't gamble with the. I don't even gamble with the crystals. It wasn't a gamble because it was a guaranteed character. So I was spending X amount of crystals, and I was guaranteed to get 330 shards of a character.
Of 110 characters that were possible in there, Neil.
Yeah. So, like, for example, when I spent, I put it this way, I didn't have to convert anything. When I got the Geo Soldier, I think I got like converted them. It's like 6,000 currency. So it's like, I was in Hog's Heaven. The amount I was buying all that gold gear, I was buying all that, Gear 12 plus stuff. So, it worked out useful in the end, but it wasn't a gamble because I knew exactly what I was getting. I was getting 330 character shards, whether it was a character I had or did not have. That wasn't a gamble.
TIE Fighter Espresso, thank you for the follow. You are Padawan number 730. What is it? 738. Thank you very much for the follow.
nearly at 3/4. Nearly at 750. Nearly at 3/4. That's
We're
nice,
almost at 750.
almost at 750. Yeah. So yeah. But yeah, no. When it comes to spending, I have no frame. So when you say, "Oh, so you know what it's like," no, I don't. I really, really don't, because I have never spent anything in this game. And spending crystals that you earn from Squad Arena or from Fleet Arena, it's completely different. Because 9 times out of 10, you're gonna save those crystals up, and you're probably gonna use them for, a stun gun or a golden eyeball or some carbantes.
I mean, that's what I do when I buy crystals. I'll spend them on those things.
Yeah, but that's what so it's like, I really don't want to have to wait 4 days to farm for the stun gun, so sod it. I'm just going to pay the 1,300 and get the stun gun. Because, I'm sitting on 3,000 or 4,000
I'm just trying
crystals.
to point out, maybe you don't realize that you understand the gamble, but you really do understand the gamble, just not in the same way that some people do. No. That's all I want to point out. We've been talking in circles about this, though. Not intending to just kill time, but we'll definitely do that. We did get a dev tracker back.
Yeah, we did. We got the dev tracker is back. So my first question was, have they fixed? Because my bug, the bug that I reported regarding the bug for my main account, last year it happened on my Pom-Pom-tastic account where I joined. But it didn't put me in a group because it didn't register with the server. I registered it as a bug. It was on the bug report forever because they stopped playing with the dev tracker. And you logged into it. And what did it say?
It says, as of now, 12 hours ago, that they have moved it from general bugs to recently resolved.
So the argument there is that every time you hit the join, it is guaranteed to send that join to the server. There is no bugging out of it. They're saying that issue is now resolved, because that was the issue. I hit the join, but it didn't send it to the server. I didn't double check, like logging on and logging back on again, and no, it hasn't gone to the server. My join hasn't gone to the server. I'll have to join again. So you should not have to do it a second time now. It should always register your first join, and you shouldn't have to do it a second time. So we'll see.
Yeah,
we will see. I'm going to be monitoring that very, very closely.
I am absolutely sure that you will. We do know, as far as the we when this originally was launched, we were going to give you guys a list of the currently known bugs. We do know that there's wrong character descriptions for G12 finisher pieces. We do know that Rey and Kylo could sometimes be stuck in their ultimate stance during raids. That's still going and being investigated. And unending loyalty doesn't expire when it should. We know that there has been, it just happened to one of our listeners. They mentioned it inside the chat. I think that it was Ray Rock. That it just happened to. I had it happen, I think, on my last GAC stream that I did. I had unending loyalty not clear off in the middle of a GAC, if I'm correct.
Yeah, the bugs, the disappearing buttons is still occurring in GAC as well. Was that one of them? Is that still on the bug report?
Let's see. I've got advanced
buttons?
search not listing guilds. Rewards are not loading properly, and the wrong message is displayed when all units in a territory battle are deployed and they attempt to battle in another. No, but let's see. Disappearing buttons. Disappearing buttons was apparently fixed as of January 8th of this year.
Well, that could simply be a bug that was fixed on the phone. Obviously, DPK is using an emulator. Emulators and phones are slightly different things. It could be a software glitch on BlueStacks, whereas, it's different software on a phone. Phone is the actual Android software, and BlueStacks is an Android emulator, so the software is ever so slightly different. And, BlueStacks has got all its idiosyncrasies, hasn't it? Like cutting you off, or just stopping all of a sudden, or crashing, or, bug reports, yeah,
emulators, that is something that the community does need to know.
Yeah.
Emulators themselves are not covered in the whole scheme of things. But if you are on a phone or a tablet, or you're playing the game through your Mac and Airbook, your Mac Airbook, then yeah, it's covered, but not your BlueStacks emulators.
Yeah, maybe it's something to bring up with the new community manager. Maybe they do need to start taking bugs and errors regarding emulators, because the streaming community, pretty much every single streamer in the community, whether they're streaming or whether they're recording content, uses an emulator. So maybe having bug and issue reports specific to people that are reporting the bugs and the issues while using an emulator would be congruous of them to incorporate into the dev tracker.
I mean,
maybe it's a conversation to be had with not with the devs, but with the community manager, and he can then relay that information to the devs.
Yeah, the last that's the same reason why Gameloft recommends that you download Lego Legacy Heroes Unboxed Windows version and not play it through BlueStacks.
Not play it through BlueStacks, yeah, because playing it on Windows is a lot crisper and a lot less buggy.
Yes.
Than playing it on BlueStacks. Playing it on BlueStacks is an absolute nightmare, but playing it on PC, it's a much more fun experience. If you like that kind of game.
Yeah. But this was announced along with Doja Fett's what I'm seeming to enjoy of his humor. He said the dev tracker will be triumphantly returning to regularly updated status for the community perusal. While I feel like I could retire now and leave behind a solid legacy given this feat, I will endeavor to keep pushing for more community-focused goodness. I'm loving this guy. In all earnestness, the dev tracker is a helpful way for us to track bugs. It also reduces the amount of duplicate reports to comb through, which saves the QA team time. This is important given they have to share a laptop. I mean, he's playing into the hands of all of the, all the, is it memes?
No, inside jokes.
Inside jokes that are part of.
No,
this
it
game.
does make it, but from a QA perspective, from a quality assurance perspective, it absolutely makes more sense to have the dev tracker going. Because if if the dev tracker is maintained, I mean, it's a risks and issues log. For all intents and purposes, it's a risks and issues log. So if you have an issue, if you have a bug with the game and it is already on the dev tracker, you can be like, oh, right, okay, so I don't have to go through the laborious process of filling out a bug report and giving my details and giving my emails. I've got this issue. I've had this issue. I can see it on the dev tracker, so I don't need to report it again because it's an issue that they're recognizing needs to be dealt with. So having the dev tracker up and running again, it's just good QA. It really, really is. It's just good quality assurance, and it will cut down on the amount of reports that they have to sift through. If 100 people are putting the same bug report in for something that's already on the dev tracker and that the devs already are aware of, that it cuts out the need for those 100 people to waste their time submitting the same bug report for something they are already aware of and is being maintained. But obviously it's important and very imperative that they maintain the dev tracker and that they keep their eye on the ball regarding the various different issues and bugs that have been previously reported, and make sure that they inform the community when something has been resolved, which I hope Doja Fett does. I hope he keeps on top of the devs regarding the dev tracker. He's kind of taken ownership of it when you think about it, because he's the one that's pressed and said, hey, look, this is something that would be good and better for the community and for you guys. It'll reduce your workload if we bring back the dev tracker. So, if something isn't updated on the dev tracker, or if something takes a lot of time on the dev tracker, they're going to go to him. It's like, oh, can you find out if there's any update on this issue or this bug that was reported 2 months ago? It's still showing as, pending, sort of thing.
All right. Let's talk a little bit about what else he said in the threads. He had a he responded to a lot of the messages inside the mega thread for the SWGOH community team is growing. He responded to Heinze. He responded to a lot of content creators, which was great.
Yeah. Did you see his what is it? He said if somebody posts a parrot with a wampa arm in the forum, I'll make it my avatar. So
and it was Finn.
So Finn made one, and it is now his avatar.
Yep, Finity made the avatar that Doja Fett uses. It's great.
Yeah, I mean the guy literally posted an hour ago, and it was a good post. It was a good response. It was responding to somebody in the in his post. What am I even doing? So there's a thread called "What am I even doing here?" If you want to ask him something, go read that thread and put a post in there.
Well, here's the one
is responding to people on that thread.
Here's the fun one in question. I know it might be weird to ask for, but are you considering trying to re-extend the olive branch to YouTubers? And if you do, would you only work with the mainstream YouTubers, or would you try to talk to as many YouTubers as you can to help spread not only information but excitement in the game? And here was his response. We're planning to be more present in ways outside of the Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes forums, which is a good thing, including appearances on podcasts, plural, live streams, and videos, as well as other communication platforms. However, it'll be a process that will take some time, and what exactly that ends up looking like remains to be seen. If I were some person broadcasting on my own time, the process would be obviously faster. And we know about this next part, but we officially represent Star Wars and by extension other partners. Thus, certain hurdles need to be cleared and precautions need to be taken so I don't unwittingly end up on Joe Dingus's Insert Insensitive Topic podcast.
Mm-hmm.
So which one of us is Joe Dingus?
You.
Oh, okay.
Simple, short answer. You want to? I'm gonna. Oh, what's that? What's that?
Thank you, Geek
Girl.
For
Thank you for the biddies.
So, I mean, he's got a lot. And guys, I'm personally very excited for CG Doja Fett. I really am. This guy has already embraced the community. He's already said the words, Neil. He's already said the words that he hears us. That is all I've asked for in the Q&As.
Yeah, we'll see. He needs to turn his words into actions. He needs to turn his words into actions. I like the 50-50 split. I think that was good. In one of his responses to one of the posts on that thread, he said that he kind of like does a 50-50 split. He splits half his time with reading through the forums and looking through all of the various different threads and looking at the number of posts to see if there's anything that he can respond to there. And then he spends his other half, the other 50% of his time, with the devs and, talking to them and speaking to them and probably, asking them questions, relaying data, relaying information that he picked up from the forums. But as long as he turns his words into actions, then I'll be one of the very, very happy. I'll be one of the very happy few, because there are people that are just never, ever, ever going to be pleased. And even he acknowledges that there are people that are never, ever going to be pleased.
He does.
I will, I'm a simple person. I will be pleased when he puts his words into action. So, if he does maintain this, keeping his, 50% of his time on the forums and 50% of his time with the devs, and that, if he does some broadcasting time with some content creators, then I will be very, very happy with his output.
The one thing we do need to also mention that he did, it was kind of buried in another thread, but Bodhi, one of our very, very awesome Patreons, he has a way of parsing all the information, and he found that he highlighted one of Scribe's videos and literally went to a developer to say, hey, is this working the way that it's supposed to, or is this person on YouTube correct? Can you explain it? And they did. Neil, they did a moment-by-moment breakdown of Scribe's video and said, okay, this is what happened. This is what you saw. You said this, but this is actually what happened.
Oh, yeah, no, I saw the breakdown.
It was amazing.
I saw the breakdown, yeah.
It was amazing. Anyway, what we need to do right now, though, is we need to take a break so we can get Sean and John from Galactic War Report inside the escape pod so we can talk to them here. But guys, you do not want to miss this interview. We're going to ask all the questions that I think any other content creator would, and we're going to get to know them better. That's something that I love about this show, is getting to know the other content creators as well. So let's get to know them after this break, and we are going to talk to them about all of their accolades, including the fact that, in my mind, they are the original Star Wars Galaxy of Hero podcast. We'll talk about that more after this break on the Escape Pod. Oh, stay tuned for Storytime with the Llama cast.
The Escape Pod cast with Paul Anthony and Neil Andrew Ware.
Hello, Escape Padawans. It is the Llama here to remind you that the Escape Pod Castaways are on social media. We're on Facebook, we're on Twitter, you can catch us on YouTube and on Twitch every week, streaming Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, LEGO Legacy Heroes Unboxed, your favorite new Galaxy of Heroes show, GA Center, and so much more. Come catch us on the web.
Are you a member of Team Paul or Team Neil? Maybe you prefer story time with the llama, or dabble in the buttery side of the Force with Biscuit Weasel. Or maybe you like the Escape Pod talents from Down Under like Heinzie and Scotty. No matter who you support, you can get one of my designs from the Escape Podcast merch store. Just go to escapepodcastaways.com, click on the merch link, and it will take you to the TeePublic site where you can support me, Mrs. Anthony, also known as Critty K. Also be sure to check out the Mrs. Anthony Shirts channel on the Escape Podcast's Discord server weekly to vote for my latest shirts in the Design Derby on Woot. Links for both of these are down below. Thank you for supporting the Escape Pod cast.
Heinzie from the ANZGC is officially a member of the Escape Pod Castaways. Make sure you go and search for Heinzie on YouTube today, because he live streams a lot of his GAC content, and not only does he do that, he also does some pretty fun videos from time to time, including a behind the screen and also streaming Jedi Fallen Order. And from time to time, this idiot might drop by. Head on over and check out Heinzie today on YouTube, a part of the Escape Pod Castaways network.
The Escape Pod cast for kids. It's really cool.
Hello, Escape Padawans, and welcome back to Storytime with the Llama and the Escape Pod cast for kids. Now, this week is a very, very special week for me personally, because it is my 52nd Storytime. That is right. You Padawans have gotten 1 full year of Storytime with the Llama, and I cannot tell you how much it means to me. Now, we'll be celebrating in next week's show, but I definitely wanted to call it out today because it is number 52. And this week, in our Journey Through the Journey Guide series, we have the One Famous Wookiee event to get Legendary Chewbacca. The requirements for this event are 5 bounty hunter characters at 7-star, gear 12, ability level 8, and mark 5 mods. Now, suggested characters that you should use for this event are going to be Bosk, Boba Fett, Greedo, Dengar, and you can use either Embo or Django, whichever one you have or prefer or want to focus your energy on. You can do the event with either, but the first 4 characters are pretty firm. You're definitely going to want to use those guys. They'll help you through the event much easier. Now, there are 7 tiers in the event to take Chewbacca to 7 stars. He will unlock at 5 stars with 5-star bounty hunters, so I highly suggest once you get your bounty hunters to 5 stars to go in and go ahead and do the event to unlock Chewbacca, because even at 5 stars, he's a fantastic character. The event difficulty on this one is medium to hard, mostly because of RNG, but this is a fairly tough event, so you're going to want to make sure you invest in your bounty hunters to get them to that recommended requirement. You can do it with less, but it will definitely be difficult. Let's dig a little bit into Chewbacca as a character. As far as tags go, he's a light side character, an attacker, a scoundrel, a smuggler, and a rebel. His basic ability, Overcharged Shot, deals physical damage to the target enemy and inflicts tenacity down for 2 turns on them. His first special, Pulverize, will dispel all buffs on enemies and then deal physical damage to all of them as well. Chewbacca gains offense up and critical chance up for 2 turns. This attack ignores defense. His second special, Furious Bowcaster, will deal physical damage to the target enemy and stun them for 1 turn. Then, if that target has no protection, it actually resets the Pulverize ability cooldown. This attack also cannot be evaded. Because of his first unique ability, Loyal Friend, at the start of the battle, he grants guard to the weakest ally and Han Solo until Chewbacca is defeated. He will also assist when a guarded ally uses any ability during their turn and will do 20% less damage, and is limited to once per turn. When Chewbacca deals damage to an enemy, he and all guarded allies recover 3% health and protection. Now, the status effect Guard prevents characters from being critically hit. They're also immune to daze and stun, and they have plus 25% critical chance. With his second unique ability, Raging Wookiee, Chewie is immune to ability block and cooldown increases. When he deals damage to an enemy, he also deals bonus damage equal to 20% of their max health. When Chewbacca takes damage from an attack, he gains 25% offense and critical chance until the end of his turn. When Chewbacca or a guarded ally takes damage from an attack, it reduces Furious Bowcaster's cooldown by 1. He's got 2 Zetas, one's on his first unique Loyal Friend, and the second is on his second unique Raging Wookiee. As far as mods go, you're definitely going to want to have him modded for speed primarily. You're going to want him to be fast, you want him to take a lot of hits. Secondarily, you can focus on critical chance, critical damage, offense is another great one, and potency. Teams to use him on, obviously it's a no-brainer to put him on a CLS Rebel team with Han, CLS, R2-D2, and Leia, but he's also a key member of what we call fondly in the community as the CLS Trio, with just Commander Luke Skywalker and Han Solo. They're fantastic in Grand Arena. You can use them against weaker teams to kind of gain back some banners and get yourself closer to that win or closer to Kyber. They're a great, great trio to have in your back pocket. That's all for me. Tune in next week for more story time with the Llama and the Escape Pod cast for kids.
This is Macleod, and I assure your privacy and confidentiality when using my remodding services.
G'day legends, this is Heinzie. Did you know Macleod Modding Mayhem is the premier modding service for the game that we all love, Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes? With some of the most affordable rates in the industry, Macleod will remod your roster from top to bottom with continuous consultation with where to go from there. Macleod has a 100% satisfaction guarantee, and he has tons of additional services available as well, like a full cleanup of your mods, PvP plans, and lots more. Contact contact Maccaeus today on Discord, all in lowercase, guys, MIKAYAS 0127. That's MIKAYAS number 0127, or hit up MaccaeusMods@gmail.com. I fully endorse Maccaeus Modding Mayhem, and you will too. Maccaeus Modding Mayhem, the official remodding service of the Escape Podcast and the Escape Podcastaways network.
Receiving incoming transmission. Receiving incoming transmission. Receiving incoming transmission.
Welcome back to the show, ladies and gentlemen. It's incoming transmission time, and this week's incoming transmission. Oh, I know Paul's been looking forward all week to introducing these two gentlemen. So, Paul, take it away, Master of Ceremonies.
And by the way, I did get that title thanks to Onion Avenger, who placed a cupcake defense in GAC. But that's not what we're here for. Thank you, Onion Avenger, for the Master of Ceremonies in-game title. Ladies and gentlemen, these two gentlemen that are not below us in any stature, but like literally coordinately below us.
Second, we are.
They are the original Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes podcast. They laid the groundwork so that content creators of all types could be where we are now. We owe them a debt of gratitude. If you're a Twitch viewer of other content creators, or you are a content creator yourself, these gentlemen paved the way for us. It is my absolute 100% honor to welcome to the Escape Podcast the Galactic War Report, Sean and John. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having us. This is a lot of fun. I appreciate that you guys are actually in the Escape Pod while we are in our dingy recording.
Oh, no expense spared on our sets.
Yeah.
No expense spared on our sets.
Plenty of expense spared here. But
I cannot wait to disappoint all those accolades you just poured on us, because it's a generous take on what
heavy
happened.
lifting that we've been doing, I guess.
Apparently.
You know that you've been doing that, and your humbleness is quite. It's always been endearing. I'll say that much.
Well, it's all we have left. At the end,
humility is our only quality, I guess.
But let's first get to know. We'll get into the heavy questions later, but let's first get to know both of you. I mean, with the fact that you're the original podcast, you guys are pretty much launch players, aren't you?
Yeah.
Let's start with you, Sean.
Yeah. We it was a November afternoon, 2015, and we had a Star Wars podcast that was like a year old, maybe just over. I think it was just over a year old. Called Radio
Time has no
Tatooine.
meaning anymore. I don't know.
Yeah, and we had been doing that, and so we were chatting a lot, and this game came out, and I don't remember who messaged whom, but I remember texting about it and saying, "Yeah, all right, let's check it out." And we both just, I mean, you know what it's like to start playing this game. You fall down the rabbit hole, you get a clone sergeant, and your world changes. It's all these little upgrades that seem so small now, but we got hooked on it and started talking about it on our Star Wars podcast that was supposed to be kind of a balanced podcast where we talked about the films, because at the time we were in the countdown to episode 7. We were talking about Star Wars Rebels. We were talking about, all the new Journey to the Force Awakens, all those books and stuff. And like this game started consuming our podcast. So eventually we we need another podcast where we can just talk about this game. And
Okay, quick thumbs up or thumbs down, since you're talking about the Journey of the Force Awakens. Thumbs up or thumbs down to the Phasma book?
I didn't read it. John, did you read that? I read the Phasma comic. I never read the book.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I got the comic down here too.
Yeah. I was into like every issue of every Star Wars comic, and
because we were trying to cover them on our show too, was part of it.
Right. But we all fell so terribly far behind on those.
Yeah, I mean, I picked up my favorites. You know, the Darth Vader one in particular was my favorite. Yep, that's the one.
Yeah.
The Vader down arc was amazing, and of course, Dr. Aphra is still a gaping hole in my heart that's not in this game.
I'm still waiting for the first issue until I read the rest.
They have
it, actually.
Dr. Aphra. They made Black Series figures of Dr. Aphra and her droids.
Really?
Put them in the game.
Are you sure?
I think they did.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't have them. I have a
I would definitely.
Oh, absolutely.
If I saw a Dr. Aphra Black Series, I would. Yeah,
and 000 and BT. I
only have 2 Black Series. I have a Han Solo and a Luke Skywalker because that's it, you know. I mean, I have lots of other Star Wars stuff, but when it comes to Black Series, you know,
there's so much of it now. It's
over the top. I mean, have you seen the Black Series Hurt Baby Yoda? It's in a tiny little box.
Yep, I've got it.
It's in like the tiniest box, and it comes with a frog in a bowl.
Yeah, I found it in the store, and I had to like Google it to make sure that was the right scale. Like, is this
right?
Version? Yeah, I guess so. It's not the size of someone's foot.
For what it's worth, I have in person and many times on the internet bugged and begged about getting Dr. Aphra in the game to CG, and I generally get patted on the head and told to go about my business.
Yeah. I mean, don't get it twisted. Like, CG will talk to us. They don't listen to us. we don't have that kind of pipeline for.
It's a one-way thing. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I missed.
What about,
I was about to say that the last time I actually had the opportunity to come and speak to you guys while you were broadcasting, and it was at Celebration.
Okay, yeah.
But
that was a while ago.
You must forgive me because it was come and listen to you broadcast live or get Timothy Zahn's autograph. So please.
Someday you'll get Tim Zahn's autograph.
No, that's what I did. I went and joined the queue to get to meet Timothy Zahn. It's like
I almost
I'm
did,
there with a friend, and it was go straight ahead to the podcast area or take a left with my book and get it autographed by Timothy Zahn. And it's like
it would have been great to have somebody other than Sean's wife and sister in the audience. So that would have been. I think we had more Capital Games employees on the stage with us than were in the audience.
Yeah,
so.
it was sparse. But the other thing was did you make it to the podcast stage for any podcasts?
I did make it. I did make it for a couple of podcasts.
Was like under an escalator in like as far removed from any of the actual action of the convention as
it was.
Really
it was off. It was definitely off the beaten track. Yeah.
Yeah, it took me a while to find it because I went the day before, I think, but yeah,
I was there on the Sunday.
Amaze.
Yeah,
just the Sunday, the day that you did the broadcast.
God, was it? I don't remember.
Yeah, you did it on the Sunday.
Yeah, and Ray Rock was there with you.
Ray was there with me. Yeah.
Well, the fun part was we bought a bunch of just like cheap little gifts to give out, like a little plush. There was a plush porg and just some little tchotchkes and stuff to give out. And we had prizes and drawings throughout. And all of the like 10 people there won just a ton of stuff because like there's only so many of you here. Take another prize.
Yeah, take another prize. Take another prize. Yeah, I was talking to Eric, and there was at their booth, and there was loads of people there, and then all of a sudden, it's like half of them just disappeared, and it's like, where's Crumb and the devs gone? It's like, oh, they've gone to do a podcast. They've gone to do the Galactic War Report, and that was when it was like, oh, let's go. Yeah, all right, then we'll and then walking towards it, and then like I said, Timothy's on to my left or straight onto the podcast, and I chose Timothy, so sorry.
Yeah, a noble distraction for sure.
Let's before we cover get into more of your guys' relationship with CG. Let's talk about the accounts that you guys run. So does Neil get to rip up both of your free play cards in front of your faces?
Yeah,
I mean, I'm not completely free. Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah, I think so. I think I was free for, started out free, but back in the day they had that I think it was $10.99 for a crystal pack, and you got an extra 100 crystals every day for like 3 weeks.
Oh, the perpetual crystal pack. Yeah.
That was sweet. So that's what kind of like broke me in. Like, well, I do a podcast about this game and I play it nonstop. And like, if I get an Xbox game for $60 and I play it for 20 hours, I'm like, that's cool. Neat. This, like, I don't look at my screen time, like I've put some time in. So, I kind of started spending a little with that.
I actually went through all my Google Play receipts over the years, and I've gone through periodically and done a re-up on it to see how much I'm spending. And it's about an MMO subscription a month, $15.
Yeah,
that's not too shabby.
No, I mean, and it honestly that includes a time. Wow, when was it?
I would guess that I'm about that.
Yeah. There was a time when there was all the first order characters coming out, like one after one after one, and I went nuts on those $20 packs they had. But I mean, it's about $15 a month on average, I'd say, probably for me.
I probably do slightly more. I don't think I would do more than 20, 25, something like that.
So you're not whales.
You're fish. You're not aquatic mammals. You're fish.
Yeah.
I'll buy a crystal package if I'm desperate to unlock something that day, or
or those packs last week. Those packs with the Chirotech and the stun gun and all that stuff.
As mentioned in the second segment, I did end up hitting a jackpot.
Oh, did you?
Oh, nice.
I hit a jackpot. I got 50 of everything on a $10 pack.
Awesome. Yeah, I did one $10 pack, and then I bought all the $5 packs you could buy because I got bored. I got bored. $5 in the bank. Okay.
Time is the enemy of all money.
So where are your accounts at? Do you hold any Galactic Legends?
Yeah, we each have our one precious little legend.
Yeah, I have Supreme Leader Kylo Ren, and Sean chose poorly.
I have Ray, which is a squad you cannot beat now. I understand.
Well, that's my own fault though, because I'm bad at the game.
So what's your GP at?
5 million something.
Oh wow.
I'm 6.3, I think. Right around 6.4 almost.
Just by virtue of being alive at this long in the game, it's I have to load the whole game. It's 5.4, I'm guessing. I don't know.
Entirely free to play. Neil, do you want to tell them where you're at?
I'm at 4.5.
Not
I've been playing since December 2015, and I didn't adopt it in November. I didn't adopt it until December because I got my kids iPads that year for Christmas that year, and obviously the movie came out that year.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of advertisements, and so I put the game on my girls' tablets first, and I had an iPhone, so then I put it on mine. So that's how I was playing it on mine and kind of playing theirs, and so.
Now, do they still play?
Sorry? No, God, no. My eldest doesn't play anymore.
Yeah.
She's a teenager.
If it shows you how much I pay attention to actually what I'm doing in this game, I haven't even hit 5 million yet. I'm at 4.9 something.
Yeah, no, I haven't hit 5 million yet, and I don't have a GL yet either. I refuse to go for those GLs, but I'm only 4.5. But I'm 100% free to play. I've never spent a dime on any of my accounts because I
also
also
have folks in our guild that are like that, and see, it's tough because on one hand I'm cheap and lazy, but on the other hand, it sounds like a lot of work. So
doing what extra
doing
accounts?
Free play.
Oh yeah.
Free play. It's just
are you going for either of the new ones that you guys got to reveal to the world in a way?
Yeah. We're following down same path. I'm going light side, John dark, and we're both
already
John's
so far
closer.
close to there. Yeah, probably.
arguably. Yeah.
See, I'm swapping over. I went Slacker, but now I'm going Luke.
Mm-hmm.
So
well, I already had like a Relic 2 Veers and Stark. Like I was already.
Yeah. I was just unlocking Jedi Knight Luke when the prerequisites dropped. And I'm like, that first batch of prerequisites, I don't remember who all was in there. I think it was Jedi Training Rey at Relic 7. And I'm like, well, I did that already. And 3PO, I'm like, I just did that, and there was so much that kind of lined up. And as the rest of the requirements came out, none of them looked unachievable for me. I mean, obviously there's the Mon Mothma and Backpack Chewie, right? But there's going to be the new characters to grind, but the rest of them I looked at and thought, this is either characters that I happen to already have there, or a lot of them are close. So
no, I'm in exactly the same boat. I went JKL as soon as I was that. I stopped everything. I put everything on hold because since day one I've wanted a Jedi Knight Luke in this game,
and he's so good. I
mean, mine's still at 11, still at gear 11 at the moment, nearly at 12. But I just went balls out because I had everybody at 7 stars with the exception of Snolo, Captain Han Solo. But I knew that I would have him at 7 stars in the time it took me to take everybody to gear 13 and Relic 3. So that's, but literally by the last character to take to gear 13, Relic 3, was Rolo, and the same week that happened, he hit 7 stars, and then I just went 12, 13, Relic 3, and I was ready.
One other fun thing, I don't know if you guys are familiar with my campaign with Rolo, but I was actually the world's first Gear 13 Rolo. When Gear 13 first came out, everyone's like, Revan, and like doing all these smart things. And I was like, I'll do a couple smart characters. And then we could look on SWGOH.gg and see how many of each character people had moved to Gear 13.
Yeah.
And no one had Rolo. There were 3 or 4 that like Ugnaught, Rolo, Mob Enforcer.
There were a couple that were like nobody.
Yeah, Jawa, I think.
Yeah,
and
the first ever cup was in my old alliance.
Yeah. So I spent a bunch. I mean, we have a Patreon. And all of our listeners on our Discord and everything were like, spend our money on Rolo. Okay.
Far be it from us to not give the fans what they want.
I can't say it was the best investment as far as the payout on it, but it ended up being needed. And when Jedi Luke requirements came out and Jedi Knight Luke requirements came out and Relic 3 Rolo was one of them.
You were there. You were already
what
there.
What are the odds?
It's like, booyah.
So let's John, I do want to ask Sean about his account though. You had it was what, 7 months ago that you actually announced on the show that, and we gave you a wonderful send-off here on this show, and thank you. But you had at that point decided to retire. Do you want to talk about what was, to refresh people, what was the reasons for your departure?
Sure.
And as much as you want to about your return.
Yeah, I can. I mean, honestly, I can do almost 100% of all that. The reason for leaving, I mean, like, we all play this game, and sometimes it is super fun, and sometimes it's light side territory battles, and so that's kind of where I was. And at the time, there was a lot going on with Galactic Legends having been announced, and light side territory battles. I was banging my head up against Darth Malak all the time, and like, we've all been in one of those fights with Darth Malak where you're just like, why am I here? I'm hitting him. He's not. You've got the wrong team. It's a bad matchup. Whatever. So I just got like really frustrated, and I want to say there was a batch of announcements that day for requirements, I think.
Yeah.
And John, I think, texted me, and he like, I'm gonna throw you under the sandcrawler here. That I think you texted me, and it was like, hey, what are we doing for the show tonight? And I responded with something along the lines of, I don't know, I'm in a bad place with the game. And you said like I'm gonna quit bad place. And I was like, yeah.
Well, to be fair, one, I was texting you to tell you I couldn't record that night because my kid was sick.
Yeah.
That was
okay.
But it's come up multiple times. So one of my friends, Cedric, one of the guys who was in our guild for a very long time, one of my good friends in real life, and a couple other people here and there. It's like when they get so frustrated with the game, I've been a big proponent of, if you're not having fun, stop playing the game.
Yes.
Like, dude, it's a game, right? If you're sitting there banging your head against it, then what are you doing? You know?
You sound like my parents when I was 8 years old playing Double Dragon, and I couldn't beat Machine Gun Willie at the end of it. And they'd say, are you having fun in there? And I'd say, yes, I'm having fun. And, they'd come in and turn off my Nintendo.
But that's the thing. Like I would say counseled, but it's advice I've given to a lot of people. Like, if you keep going back and forth, like you're not having fun anymore, then don't play.
Yeah. And there is something also that I recognize in the game, that it is I mean, you spend a lot of time and a lot of mental energy throughout the day on, oh my God, it's noon, I got to do my refresh. And so it is kind of invasive on your life in that aspect. So it's like, it's a contract to me. Like, it's going to take up some real estate in my brain. Is it fun enough for that? And at the time, my conclusion was no, I'm not having enough fun with it. So
for 6 days and 23 hours, it was no.
It was no. Yeah, I uninstalled it right there. I quit the guild and dumped leadership. I was the leader of the guild at that point. I dumped that on someone who did not want it, but he still has it. So
it was a proper full-on rage quit.
It kind of was, yeah. And but I mean, it also wasn't just like, I'm not logging in today. It was like, we're uninstalling. This is done. And I read something later about how if you want to quit the game, sell all your mods. You will never come back to the game after you sell all your best mods. You can't. And ultimately, I'm glad I didn't do that.
We did have somebody do that in my guild. May run DMV. Rest in peace there.
Yeah. So it was yeah. I mean, I say it was a rage quit, but it was also kind of like I put some thought into it, and I was like, where am I going with this? I love the podcast. I love the community, but where does the game really sit with me and my kind of happiness, and it was a calculation. So then after that, I mean, what really brought me back, I mean, there was a couple things. One, I was still in the Discord for my guild. So I could still kind of like creep and see what people are talking about,
see what you were missing.
Yeah. And I mean, it's same old stuff, for the most part, but yeah, I missed the camaraderie. I missed the cliche of pride and accomplishment, right? I missed all the good stuff that, like, when you're frustrated with something, you see only the bad stuff. And the more I thought about it, I was like, I've had a week without the game now. And I want it back. It's not, I mean, it was like a bad rom-com, where like at the end, like, I realized I was wrong.
Was there any truth to the rumor that CG specifically reached out to you to ask you to come back and told you super secret stuff that is, of course.
I could have fun with this. But I don't think they reached out to me. I think I reached out to Top Hat, if I remember correctly. He might have messaged me and said like, "Hey, heard you quit." That's
I think what happened is because I talked to tell him relatively. Like, I'm friends with him at this point. Like I talked to him about completely unrelated stuff, and I mentioned to him like, "Hey, the show's going to be ending. Sean's not going to be playing." And I think he's like, "Oh, hey, man, you quit the game. That sucks."
Yeah, I think it was something like that, and it was so we ended up having a conversation. But yeah, I remember back then like hearing it's weird having a Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes podcast and hearing rumors about yourself. Like, I'm not a Kardashian, I'm like, look at me, but
you're a Lobot understudy.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, basically, it's about there. So I talked with him and I remember hearing all the, like, what did they promise him? What info did they give him? And, honestly, I just had a good conversation with, well, I mean, so I did part of my return in that period. I had a phone call with Top Hat where we just chatted. He was like, "Hey, what frustrates you about the game?" And I told him, and he's like, "Cool." He's not a salesman. It's not his job to be like, "Come back." He just heard me out. There was no, well, I'll tell you what, if you come back, there was none of that.
There was no brown envelopes like
exactly. Yeah, it was just like,
here's a nondescript brown envelope with something in it. Please come back.
Yeah. And I did tell him in the conversation that I was like, I had mixed feelings. I was like, it sucks leaving it because it's such a part of my life at this point. And I mean, he and I chatted about it, but I don't think he was like a tipping point for me by any means. It was more than anything. It was me creeping around our guild Discord and saying like, I don't want to like sign out and never chat with these guys.
You missed your friends.
Honestly, it was, yeah.
So essentially what you're saying is that there was no exclusivity there, according, once again, I'm running the rumor mill here. There was no exclusive promise for the Galactic War Report in connection with your return or whatsoever.
Yeah.
Here's what I can tell you is that in general, when people have ideas about how we get exclusives, the fact of the matter is, if they were really going to be pushing for a good outlet, we're really not one. Like
whenever we get exclusives, everyone complains. Why these guys?
I can't say they don't have a point because we don't have a ton of listeners, right? Like really, we don't. Anytime we release something, it's transcribed and on Reddit within an hour. So I mean, there's no reason. It's just there's no.
Yeah, but the thing is, you guys are literally proof of that old adage. It's not what you know, it's who you know. You are genuine friends with Top Hat. So, if because you are friends, there's an element of trust there. He can
but we weren't
trust
friends.
you.
It's not like we knew him before this at all. I mean, we're only friends because of
the game.
Yeah, exactly. The relationship that we forged.
But you've cultured a friendship with somebody, and you can only cultivate that type of a friendship with one of the big wigs at CG through certain degree of trust. So they can trust you guys with an interview with a dev or with somebody specific, and they know that it's not going to go off the rails because you're friends. So it's not that you get exclusivity because of what you are, but because of who you are and who you are friends with. You've got this wonderful friendly relationship with somebody, and why would a friend who has the ability to, offer that kind of thing to you, not take advantage of the fact that, well, I've got a couple, they're friends. I know these guys, I trust these guys because I'm friends and I have conversations with them. So I'd much rather you give the interview to these guys as opposed to X, Y, and Z, because I don't know them. I don't know if I can trust them to, not go off the rails and go down some conspiracy theory. Well,
I think trust is really I think that's really the best bet with it. I mean, I first reached out to Capital Games 5.5 years ago. Yeah, because it was April of 2015, or no, 4.5. So it was 2016. And I started just messaging important people on their forums until I eventually got a hold of EA Jesse, who then
everyone else would message back and say, "Don't talk to me.
Yeah,
talk to this guy."
And then he came on the show a couple times. He was just a community manager, and once he trusted us, we started being able to get more. Like, it took a long time for us to grind out a good relationship with them. I mean, we've been talking to them longer than even the people who are actually making the game now have been with the company.
Yeah, and that's honestly, that's kind of what I was going to say, is that it's, our relationship, any of the ones that we're friends with, and there's several people there that I would consider, a friend of mine. But, I mean, that all has just come from, persistence and professionalism, I guess, that, like, not to I sound like I'm selling myself, but like,
no, you're absolutely fine. Yeah. People are curious about this.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a guy in an unfinished basement with poor lighting talking about professionalism, but to the degree that it's, just a little bit of, I have a little bit of journalistic training from college, and it, I mean, it's following, some journalistic principles, I guess. I don't know.
I did news radio for 12 years before I started.
Oh, nice.
Doing the podcast. So
John and I, our first show was not a Star Wars podcast, but it was when we were in college. We did a supernatural investigation show.
You were Art Bell.
Sort of. We were the worst Art Bell.
I think that was actually only our Halloween episode. It was just supposed to be like an alternative music thing.
Yeah.
And then we ran like a Halloween special for like a month.
Yeah. And we were like, who do we know that knows anything about aliens that could call in? Oh, right. Nobody. Who do we know that knows about werewolves? Yeah, nobody. So
I don't know if you remember, we got the anthropology professor to come down and be on the show, though.
We did. Yeah.
I don't remember why she was there, but but I think the biggest thing though with Capital Games, the easiest way to explain it is they'll take our calls. That's really about it, because there'll be times where like until the last month and a half, we hadn't really heard much from them for months. And I just emailed them and was like, "Hey guys, what's up? It's been a while." And they actually read the email, and that's the only thing that I think we really have an edge on, is that they'll actually read and listen to what we say, I guess, if that's.
And
is that where you hide the Jedi mind trick, in the emails that you send to them? Is that where it is? You will read our email.
I don't know. It part of it is too. It's like, well, I'll send a message on Discord or whatever else, and then they're like, "Why don't you send emails here?" I'm like, "Oh, we're supposed to be like all official and stuff."
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I mean, it's great. I love working with Top Hat, although I don't think he's going to be, coming on the show anytime soon. I think his role has shifted to the point where he's not going to be much interested in coming on anymore. I mean, Crumb has been great to work with. We've been working with him since before Celebration at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Eric was great, but I haven't heard from Eric in forever.
Yeah, I mean, they move around in responsibilities and whatnot from time to time. So yeah, we've worked with a few different people, but yeah, it comes down to John being obnoxious early on and getting our foot in the door, I guess. I don't know. And ultimately, why do they talk to us? I don't know. Like why do they return my calls? I don't know.
Some degree of
but
legacy,
they do, and I'm not going to bug them. Like, why are you talking?
Yeah, no.
If you're dating a hot chick in high school, you don't ask her why.
No. I did that once, and it did. Yeah.
She's like, oh, that makes sense. You're right.
So thank you for helping clear the air on that, Sean. I really do appreciate that.
Yeah, for whatever good it is. And I'll tell you, actually, I did talk to someone about that recently. Well, I guess recently, whatever, months ago. But another thing with that is like just in coming back, it's not just like, hey, I missed this, I missed that, but it's like an acceptance of things. Like, so I am not as good about it as I probably should be, but I do meditate, and in like kind of guided meditation, like one of the things is focusing on acceptance. Just accept that some things are good, some things are bad. You know, you have the ability to control how you feel about things, and like just gaining a little perspective like that just kind of makes it like, yeah, I don't like light side territory battles. That's a very small part of this game. There's so much else to it, you know? So being able to kind of look at the whole picture, I just, the little gripes that I had that bugged me day to day didn't seem so big. So
yeah,
and that's my bedtime wisdom, right?
John, we haven't asked too much of you. I do want to ask, you know, I know you got plans for Galactic War Report. What do you have coming up? What's in the works behind the scenes of Galactic War Report?
Hit him with some of those hot lyrics you've been writing.
I have been writing some lyrics
Not
for
yet,
my
not
new
ready.
song. No,
Neil loves
still,
a good parody song.
I do love a good parody.
It's still in the oven. We've been collaborating more, frankly. We were on Shattered Order last week. We're here this week. We're hoping to do something soon with some other folks. I think next week, actually, we might be doing something with a couple other people, but that's still in the works. So yeah, we've kind of been on our own little island for a very long time, partially by choice, partially, because we're a podcast.
Well, we used to collaborate more, but then everyone we collaborated with either got banned or quit playing or for whatever reason, like a lot of people have left our sphere in some way. So.
And all these kids that come up these days, we've been around so long.
Right.
So we're doing that more. We're considering starting to stream our show as we record it. Maybe on Twitch, maybe YouTube. I don't know. We're talking about it.
We would highly recommend Twitch.
Yeah, we would highly recommend Twitch.
I mean, frankly, we don't really edit the show much.
Neither do we.
I mean, I say we. I don't edit it at all. Sean.
It depends on how late and how late it is and how tired I am.
Yeah, because we
sometimes
record
you
Thursday,
put the bumpers on it and you upload.
We record it on Thursday nights / Friday mornings, and it goes out Friday for the commute. So I mean, it's in the can and ready to go. So it'd be prime to just stream it, record it, and then send it out.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's a lot
It's
of
what we do.
on.
I mean, we this will be up by the end of the night on podcast networks and YouTube 24 hours later after Twitch gets its video exclusive.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. We've talked about actually streaming some stuff in the game, but we're very bad at it.
On Twitch, trust me. GAC on Twitch. Do it.
Yeah.
But we're very bad at it.
We talked about that, and we're saying if we were to do that, one, would people want to see it? So let us know. But then two, like there's so many people that stream GAC and like have some nuggets of wisdom and like you learn strategy by watching them, and that would not be us. We would just be like
there are people that just stream for the fun of it. They just play for the fun and they just stream
yakety sax on
on
loop.
I am a perennial 1 and 2 every single Grand Arena round, and I still stream my stuff and people still come say hi. I am honored, and I hate to use the word in this way. I'm blessed to have these people that do this.
Yeah.
But I gladly, if you guys do end up coming over to Twitch for recordings and such, I pledge to you the support of the Castaways. We will get you to 50. We will get you to affiliate. You will be, you will be part of the Twitch family of Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes content creators.
So you say so many things that I still need. We're so old. Like,
I get grandpa. I get grandpa
and get to affiliate.
I get grandpa all the time, mate. But
Yeah.
it is very getting to affiliate. It's like that.
And
you are
what's that
old
do?
school. You are old school. So
You're
it
the
would be
OGs.
you are the OGs. So it'd be like we got a couple of OGs here, and people will be like, "Who's that?" It's like, "Who's
I'm
Galactic
that
War?"
guy with iOS 10 that can't play in a week.
Yeah.
You don't really, do you?
No. Although
the
my phone
green
is
screen is showing that it's not a color.
yes. That's
But
awesome.
yeah, no, it would not be hard to get a couple of SWGOH OGs up to affiliate. It really, really wouldn't. And they sure they might call you grandpa, but it's done with affection. I get called grandpa all the time.
You can't see the gray in my beard through the camera. Can you?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but you can see the gray in the hair.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You can't see the gray in this hair, I'll tell you what.
Is it the green screen that's messing that up, Sean?
We use the green screen to make the gray brown.
I'm white balancing right here, right? You're welcome.
Oh my gosh. This has been an amazing interview. I really appreciate that you guys took some time out to do this. I promised you that it would be 30 minutes. We've gone to 45.
What happened? We had an agreement.
I know.
Deal's off.
I'm sorry.
In the words of CG, everything is subject to change.
Yeah, I'll send your apologies to my wife.
Right.
Exactly.
Thinking the same thing.
Let's,
Not about your wife.
Let's roll
That's
this
weird.
all into
Fine.
one. How do people, John? How do people find the Galactic War Report?
We are currently still at radiofreetatooine.com, although that's likely going to change soon. We are also still at RFT War Report on Twitter. That's really about it. I mean, we're on your normal podcast outlets.
Yeah, your podcast medium of choice.
If you really want to follow me on Twitter for whatever reason, it's mostly retweets, but I'm at the Uncanny Mr. H, just like my name. That's about it. I mean, we're on Facebook, but it just is a mirror of our Twitter, I think.
Yeah, our Facebook auto posts when we do a new episode, and then if people comment, we might like the comment. We don't get on there that much.
No.
Much more on Facebook. Yeah, or Twitter.
I do have to ask a question that comes from one of our diehard moderators. They want to know: are you fans of the noob?
Fans of the noob, is our show noob friendly?
see, Hellenix, they don't know the robotic droid that I humbly voice every month for you. I'm sorry.
Oh.
See, I knew that, Sean, but
You knew that, John.
I had that already.
Guys, we are we have run long. It's a trap. For those in the podcast version, Sean just held up an Admiral Akbar. I had to say it.
Playing with toys over here.
It's required.
Yeah, I'm the one who plays with the little Benny during.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that's my little fidget cube. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
We are going to go a little bit longer than our normal 2 hours that we do. Stand by for a extended version of the Escape Podcast. We're going to throw it here to Helly and the Noob as well in our next break. When we come back, the bridge with Patreon's choice questions and more. Thank you very much for tuning in. Thank you, Galactic War Report. We hope we could do this possibly again in the future.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Thanks for coming on, guys.
Thanks for having us. Yeah.
Stick around. We'll be right back after these messages right here on the Escape Podcast.
The Escape Pod Cast with Paul Anthony and Neil Andrew Ware.
This is Macleod, and I assure your privacy and confidentiality when using my remodding services.
G'day legends, this is Heinzie. Did you know Macleod Modding Mayhem is the premier modding service for the game that we all love, Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes? With some of the most affordable rates in the industry, Macleod will remod your roster from top to bottom with continuous consultation with where to go from there. Macleod has a 100% satisfaction guarantee, and he has tons of additional services available as well, like a full cleanup of your mods, PvP plans, and lots more. Contact Macleod today on Discord, all in lowercase guys, MIKAYAS 0127. That's MIKAYAS number 0127, or hit up macleodmods@gmail.com. I fully endorse Macleod Modding Mayhem, and you will too. Macleod Modding Mayhem, the official remodding service of the Escape Podcast and the Escape Podcastaways network.
Does your guild want to tap into their full potential in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes? Yeah! For as low as $1 a month per guild member, your guild can unleash the power of the game in ways you never thought possible. Ooh. Track your arena movements, guild progression, and much more. Contact ShittyBill and get one of his shitty bots on your server today. Just look for him on our Discord server and tag or message him for more information. The link for our server is below in the description. Shitty bots, don't let the name fool you. Did you know that if you signed up to become a Patreon, you could get tons of rewards? Force Ghost Scotty could do a roster review for you. Neil Andrew Air could share Grand Arena tactics. Or Paul could even help you get maximum stars in Geonosis Territory Battle. And you even get access into the after show. Sound good? Sign up to be a Patreon today. For as little as $2 a month, you could unlock a ton of potential content and also get closer to the hosts. Head to patreon.com/theescapepod to sign up.
And now time for something completely shameless.
I simply must vehemently disagree with you, good sir.
You have got to be
kidding me.
Noob.
You're being entirely unreasonable.
It's you who
isn't being
reasonable.
Noob.
Mate, you can't just repeat whatever I say.
Ewok, you just can't repeat whatever
I say.
Newbie.
What?
Man,
what?
I'm not in the mood for this today. Oh, hey there, Nev. I thought I heard you in here. Anyway. What's the problem this time, noob? And why is it that whenever I see the two of you together, you're always arguing?
Newbie here is attempting to convince me that Senator Palpatine isn't a corrupt, lifelong politician who will blatantly lie to get his way.
Wait. One at a time, boys.
Newbie here is attempting to convince me that Senator Palpatine isn't a corrupt, lifelong politician who will blatantly lie to get his way.
I said one at a time. Noob, let your guest speak first. Nev, please, proceed.
I'm just trying to explain to your droid that this half-dead old codger Palpatine is a corrupt, lying, manipulative, lifelong politician who will lie, cheat, and steal to gain power.
Okay, newbie. And now, it's your turn.
Lennox?
Nev.
Needs to understand that Valorum is a
speciesist.
Who needs to be tossed out and gotten rid of
entirely.
You know, every time the two of you get together, the conversation devolves into a god-dang political argument. Why do both of you do this?
Because Newbie here needs to just admit that a vote for Senator Palpatine is just the most anti-republic thing a citizen could do.
We've really stooped down to the low-hanging fruit of politics in 2020. We must have run out of show ideas. Sheesh. Anyway. So, yeah, you're both wrong.
Wait, what?
You heard me. You're both wrong. That much is clear.
Both of us cannot possibly be wrong, human. You simply must pick a side.
No, newbie. Nev. Indeed, you're both wrong. And you know what? I got a short PSA that can help you both understand.
crap. I'm starting to hate PSAs.
PSAs.
This PSA is brought to you by Hellenics.
Shameless self-promotion.
And today's sponsor, 2020 Dystopian Year from Sullust Bingo Cards. Follow along, tracking all of 2020's zany and unexpected antics, and win prizes while you play along. I have Demons Erupt from the Geyser at Old Faithful, and Gamma Ray Burst from Alpha Centauri on my card. What do you have on yours? Purchase your own 2020 Dystopian Year from Sullust Bingo card today and find out.
Not available in all systems.
Your political opinion. What is it? Why do you have one? And who stands to benefit when you share it? In this SWGOH PSA, we will explore your dumb political opinion and the many myths that surround it. Nowadays, most people on the internet have a political opinion, and strangely enough, everyone feels a need to express theirs. But strangest of all, people think their political opinions are right. Today, we will try to navigate these muddy waters and determine whose political opinion is worth sharing and whose isn't. Regardless of your particular political persuasion, your specific political opinion is indeed wrong. I'm talking to you. Yes, you. The guy listening to me and pointing at himself. Yes, you. Sorry to break it to you. You're wrong. I don't care what your political opinion is. It's patently absurd, easily debunkable, and frankly, a bit unhinged. But wait, what about you? You. Over there. Yes, you. The lady pointing at herself. Yes, you. You're wrong too, I'm afraid. And what about you? Way in the back. Yep, you. The one barely listening while you try to play Squad Arena in the middle of the show. Yep, you. You're wrong too. Notice I didn't bother to listen to any of your political opinions at all, right? Why? Because they're wrong. How can I possibly know this without hearing a single political opinion expressed? Simple. They're not my political opinion. And therefore, they can't possibly be right. You see, folks, when someone shuts down their ability to listen and hold a conversation with someone of a different opinion, who they may in all likelihood get along with under all other circumstances, civility dies. And when that happens, we all just revert to acting like overgrown children throwing temper tantrums. So, do us all a favor. Do me a favor. Do yourself a favor. When it comes to political opinions, just keep them to yourself. You won't be able to win anyone over, and all you'll do is cause an argument. And if I see you arguing, I'll ban you from all of my chats, all of my discords, and the eastern half of the known galaxy. So, before you express your obviously flawed political opinion, remember this. Political opinions are like assholes. Everyone has one, and they all stink. This has been Hellenics.
Shameless self-promotion.
For the Hellenics SWGOH YouTube channel. And 2020 Dystopian Year from Sullust Bingo cards. Buy yours today.
Not available in all systems.
So, revenues have been kind of low, huh? I mean, we had to resort to getting a sponsor? What are we, broke or something? What do you mean my check may bounce if I deposit it before Tuesday? That payment better be good. I don't work for free. So, do you see now, boys? Wasn't that PSA helpful?
Once again.
Hellenics? That PSA didn't explain anything.
At least we are finally in agreement on something. Here today, Sir Noob of House EK.
Yeah, you aren't getting off the hook.
That easy.
Beep, 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 bag.
Agreed, Noob. What are you thinking? Should we roast him on a spit over an open fire?
You?
Must.
Choose a side, Lennox.
Oh, yeah. Right.
Well, that's easy. Side chosen.
Well, that was quick. So, pray tell, whose side did you choose? Hellenics of Corellia? Mine? Or Noob's?
Easy. I chose my side. I'm gonna vote for Ainley Team of Malistaire.
Hey,
I really like his
that's quite
policy on
unfair.
legalizing
You can't
spice.
pick from a third choice.
For medicinal
You
purposes.
can't pick from a third choice.
Of course. Why not? I'm an individual, and I can make my own decisions. I don't do what the HoloNet tells me. You guys need to stop watching that garbage. It's rotting your brains and ruining your logic.
The Escape Pod. Cast. The Bridge.
And welcome back to the show, everybody. It's the fourth and final segment. My goodness, we really went over with that interview, didn't we, Paul?
We did. We're going a little bit over. Thank you for your nickel, Hellenics. We appreciate that. So why don't you tell people about a new channel that we have on the Discord server that is for use for a future project?
Yeah. I've had, I had an idea for a new project. Well, it's not solely a new idea. Obviously, quizzes and quiz shows have existed for a long time, but I like the idea of putting a little bit of oomph and a little bit of production into an online quiz show. Now, if you've ever watched a show, the show is available. It's on YouTube. Go and have a look and Google for a show called 15 to 1. It was a game show in the UK in the 80s and 90s. Okay, and the idea that I have is to do something like that. A game show like that involves just general knowledge regarding the Star Wars universe, and it will really, really separate the men from the boys regarding knowledge and things that you know about Star Wars. So I mean, it's literally just an idea at the moment. The inspiration for which was the game show that Bulldog did with you, Paul. Because Bulldog does a game show. Yeah. Bulldog does a game show, a SWGOH version of Family Feud, and you've got to go to his channel and check it out. His first episode had the Llama and Paul as Team Castaways, and a couple of guys from his Guild Alliance on the opposing team. It was very, very fun to watch. I would highly recommend everybody go and check it out on Bulldog's channel. It is literally SWGOH Family Feud, but watching that kind of sparked a little bit of inspiration. It's like, oh, I wonder how much fun it would be to take an old game show from the 80s, from the 90s, and kind of give it a YouTube / Twitch production feel to it. So and
I do want to mention that please do remember when I give my answers that I'm trying to guess what the survey said. The answers given by me may not necessarily reflect my own views.
Yeah, but this one, the one that I want to do, it's not just going to be the SWGOH community. It's going to be the Star Wars community. So we'll be looking for contestants throughout the entire Star Wars community. People that think I know my stuff when it comes to Star Wars, they will want to be contestants. So, the people that will, the caliber of the people that I'm expecting to apply to be a contestant will really, really know their stuff. Because the questions are going to be, I'll be asking questions I do not know the answers to myself. That's how, but it will be Star Wars related. It could be movies, TV shows, cartoons, books, comics, graphic novels, just anything really.
So so in order to simply apply for this, check out our Discord channel. Under the PA is essentially details on what this whole thing is. The PA is our announcements channel, and then you just post in a different channel that explain that basically you're interested in participating, and we'll be in contact once we're ready to do this.
Yeah.
So,
and we are going to put a lot of production into it,
and
so that it looks like a game show, but obviously will be, broadcast. This is not going to be something that will be live either.
Yes, correct.
It will not be live.
Recorded.
This is it will have to be pre-recorded. But that doesn't mean to say that we don't do the premiere live and put ourselves in chat. So
yeah, we'll definitely premiere and be there with you for all of this fun. If you like how GA Center is produced, just wait till you see this one.
Oh yeah, wait till you see how think full body green, full studio green screen, that so that it looks like a proper quiz show, proper game show.
All right, let's go through all of these. The Patreon's only questions. We did have a few come in, and we'll get to them right now. Is it possible for the crew of the Millennial Fulcrum to play rock, paper, scissors live on air? And who wins best out of 3? All right. So rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Yeah.
So I'm going to come over here. So I'm in my chair. All right. So it's go on shoot.
Okay.
All right. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Scissors cuts your paper.
Yeah, there we go. I lost.
Okay, best 2 out of 3 is what he said.
Okay.
All right. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock and rock.
Yeah.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Paper on paper. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Okay, paper covers rock. I won.
There we
that
go.
one.
I lose.
And by the way, that's about as fun as the old Galactic Legends used to be. All right. If you could exist in any part of the Star Wars timeline, canon or extended universe stories, thank you for putting it that way, D. You do listen to the show. When would you choose? If I could exist in any part?
I would go with the Jedi Academy trilogy, which is not that long after the Return of the Jedi. About between 5 and 10 years after Return of the Jedi, just as Luke's reestablishing the Jedi Academy and starts teaching Jedi.
I would like to work, and I know it's not a popular place, but I would like to work at Canto Bight. See it, I'd love to, work there doing entertainment stuff. That would be great. All right, Dr. Feelgood asks, what Monty Python song is your favorite? Go ahead, Neil. I just want to make sure I don't say the same as you.
It's got to be Always Look on the Bright Side of Life.
Okay, so that was my first, so I'm going to say Every Sperm is Sacred for the second one.
Yeah, that's a good one.
All right, what,
I bet you they don't play this song on the radio. That's a good one as well.
Yeah, or Sit on My, yeah.
Oh, yeah, Sit on My Face and tell me.
Yeah. Exactly. What is your favorite?
I'm a lumberjack. Candy? That's a good one.
What's your favorite Halloween candy, Neil?
Mars bars.
Little boxes of nerds. What is the absolute worst candy for Halloween?
Nerds.
I hate you. I thought you were gonna say the other one. I thought you were gonna say candy corn.
No, candy corn's all right.
Nerds are awesome. For me, the worst is probably Smarties. I'd have to go with Smarties. Lastly, not a question, but a declaration from Dr. Feelgood. Thank you guys for the continued quality content from all of us Patreons. You guys do excellent work and are greatly appreciated by the community.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Feelgood. And lastly, the last question here is JJ Manners. If you assume the life of anyone in history for 1 year, who would it be and what year of their life would you choose?
I would assume the life of George Lucas in 2015, and I would not sell Lucasfilm to Disney.
No. You assume the life, and it's not what would you do.
I'd still assume the life of George Lucas in 2015.
Just so you get all that money.
No, because I wouldn't want the money.
But you would still have to do it. Anyway. For me, you know what? To be quite honest, even though it's been a tumultuous year, I would want to go back to the start of I would love to relive the birth of this show and the evolution that it took in its first year. Because honestly, guys, that has been one of the most humbling, touching, inspiring things. You guys helping this show grow, becoming my friends. Honestly, that's what this has all been about. So, thank you back to you, Dr. Feelgood. All right. Anything else? What you got coming up this week, Neil?
GAC. More GAC. And then more GAC. I can still make Kyber even though I missed a week. I've done the math. So
how are you looking for tomorrow?
I like a good challenge. My opponent's a peach. Yeah, my opponent's a peach. So not overly concerned. Just want to try and get the feats. I will literally need to get every single feat as well as Triple Crown, everything in order to.
If you do this, I will send you a crown via Amazon. All right. If you're able to do that.
Oh God, if I could, I'm always looking for a new challenge. The whole quad Kyber thing was a challenge. I mean, I've done quad Kyber, over and over and over again now. So to be able to miss
JJ Manners asks, who's Shelly Lona Afra? That's Dr. Afra. Do you want to explain who Dr. Afra is after you finish your sentence there?
Yeah, no. I'm always looking for a new challenge. So to be able to get Kyber after missing a week would be, I'm sorry, but that would make me, that would just make me, God, as far as I'm concerned,
All right. Explain Dr. Afra for those who don't know.
Dr. Afra is a character
more versed
in a
on the
comic
canon.
Yeah, she's a really, really good character. She's like a dark side version of Indiana Jones, but in the Star Wars universe. And she's regularly, involved with Darth Vader in the storyline. So it's a good one. She's got like a couple of droids, and they ain't your average droids. They definitely aren't the droids you're looking for. So yeah, highly recommend it. It's definitely one of the best things that was written, and it'd be interesting to see her on Disney Plus. I think that she would be very, very popular on Disney Plus. The comic book wasn't massively popular. It's not like something that was read by hundreds of thousands of people, but it was a good, solid character. Whereas, there have not been a lot of really, really good, solid characters. She stands alone as a really, really good character. So,
all right. Well, for us, for my portion of the Escape Pod channel, we will be having the return of Jackbox Night on Monday. Jackbox Party Pack 7 came out on Monday, so for Patreons and subs, you guys will be able to join for that gaming excursion where anybody can play. All you need is your phone and a way to watch. Then in addition to that, Tuesday is GA Center. Wednesday, I think that's going, that might be a variety night. I might get Mrs. Anthony to stream more Sims. So make sure you stop out and say hi to Mrs. Anthony. And then Thursday is Lego, then back to Friday.
And GA Center on Tuesday.
And I said GA Center on Tuesday.
GA Center. Always worth saying it twice.
That does it for us this week. Thank you all for everything today. And thank you to Galactic War Report for coming out and showing some love to this show. Was very much appreciated. Be nice to each other, damn it. Protect those that you love. Wear a mask. If you're in the U.S., vote. And be nice to each other, damn it. We'll see you next time on the Escape Podcast. Neil, push the button.
You got it, mate. Ta-ta for now, folks.
What's going on? Where the hell are we? Paris?
Thank you for pressing the self-destruct button.
Attention! This is Colonel Sanders in forward command. Abandon ship! Abandon ship! All personnel proceed to escape pods. Close down the circuits. Evacuate the city. Self-destruct mechanism has been activated. Abandon ship! Where is it? Where is it? It's gonna be here. Out of order! Even in the future, nothing works.
This ship will self-destruct in exactly 10 seconds. Counting down. 10, 9, 8, 6.
What happened to 7?
Just kidding. 3, 2, 1. Have a nice day.
Thank you.
Hello, friends. This is Thaddeus from Going Nerdy. The Escape Podcast was filmed in front of a live studio audience full of tweaked out murder bears.
Sit, boo-boo, sit. Good dog.